Last week, I posted up a video on a blog discussing the stereotypes featured in the Ghostbusters 2016 relaunch. And when I posted that video and that blog to some portions of social media, some of these Afro American Negroes got very upset. And their responses to the information I was presenting to them was downright appalling. Some said that I didn't know what I was talking about, and others wanted to call me a misogynist because I talked about how masculine this female was featured in this Ghostbusters relaunch. And when I listened to these responses, it took me back to something David Carroll said in one of his videos and what he says regularly on his videos regarding this Afro American Negro whenever he is forced to confront his Afro American Negro female. Whenever it's time to confront this female or to discuss any issues related to this female, as I see it, and this is my paraphrasing of Mr. Carroll's statement, this Negro will go out and attack the messenger because he does not want to confront the Afro American Negro female. Instead, he'd rather deny because he wants to give her a pass because he thinks if he gives her a pass, he'll have a pass to do whatever he wants. Now, when it comes down to this Ghostbusters 2016 relaunch, one can look at an image of this film and see the racist stereotype presented regarding the image of the Afro American Negro female. All I have to do is call up one of these images, like what's featured here, and the story is pretty much told to me regarding how the world views this Afro American Negro female and the stereotype represented featuring this Afro American Negro female. If you look at this image, you will see the two skinny women standing together, and the fat white woman. She's kind of close. They're kind of distant from her, but they're still sort of connected to her if you look at how they're posed. However, when you look at the image of the Afro American Negro woman, not only is she dark skinned, she's masculine looking, she's aggressive looking, and if you look at the picture, you see that all three of the white females are standing away from the black female. They're pretty much saying that they're putting some distance between themselves and this Afro American Negro female. And this is an old stereotype that has constantly been represented in media throughout the years in images of media. Unfortunately, many African American Negroes do not have the critical thinking skills to look at an image like this and read between the lines featuring it. No, they cannot do that because they just cannot figure out how to connect those dots regarding an image in media. I can see the racism in this image. Unfortunately, most of the Afro American Negroes, they can't think critically regarding this type of image. And they can't see what they're trying to say in this image. What they're trying to say in this image is that even though these three white women are nerdy, stupid, and fat, that they're still more attractive than this Afro American Negro female. They're still saying that these women are still more feminine than this Afro American Negro female. They're saying that these three white women are more attractive than this Afro American Negro female. That is what is represented in this image. That even the fat girl is more attractive than the Afro American Negro female. Because if we look at the picture, we see that the black woman is not in proportion or equal to the white women. No, she is perceived as bigger, stronger, more masculine looking, and more aggressive looking. And that's what they're trying to represent. This is the racism that is presented in media for over, I say, about 75, 80 years, because I can go back to the 1934 cinematic classic Imitation of Life and bring up images that show you a parallel to this Ghostbusters 2016 image, because the images of Claudette Colbert and we got to remember her name, the actress Louise Beavers, pretty much parallels the visuals presented in this film. Because if you look at the 1934 cinematic classic Imitation of Life, you will see that Claudette Colbert is small, soft, and feminine looking, whereas Louise Beavers is presented in the image as large and masculine looking. But the Afro American Negro, he cannot connect the dots between 1934 and 2016. No, to the Negro, time has changed, but he doesn't understand the racism presented in this image of media and how it reflects negatively on not only him but his woman. Because what the message that is being sent to the world is that his woman is not presented in a way that is humanized. His woman is not human. She's not attractive. She's not desirable. And that her beauty is not to be considered the equal of the beauty of a white woman. That even a fat white woman can be considered more attractive than the Afro American Negro female. That even these skinny, nerdy white women are considered more attractive than his own black woman. And that sadly, even some of these black women, don't even see what's being presented in this image regarding them. Again, they sit there and will say to me that I am a misogynist and that I hate black women, when all I'm trying to do is trying to show that this is how a major movie studio is trying to represent them. This major movie studio is going out of their way to insult them right to their face by saying that that a black woman is not attractive, a black woman is not desirable, a black woman is not beautiful, and that what they are saying is that, we don't have to even value this black woman, that she's basically on the side. She's not a major part of the team. She's standing far off. And that's the message that they're sending, that she's just here, but she's not connected to this story or connected to this film, in a significant way. It's a basic insult to the Afro American Negro, but they can't connect the dots and see, how this image is the mirror image of the 1934 cinematic classic Imitation of Life. Because if you look at the 1934 cinematic classic Imitation of Life, you see the same type of imagery represented in that picture. And it's really sad that, I'm called the man who hates women when I'm trying to present them with the truth regarding how these white women pretty much perceive them and how Hollywood movie studios perceive them. Because the truth of the matter is, white women do not want to see black women as their equals in standards of beauty. They don't want black men to see black women as attractive. They don't want black men to see black women as desirable, and they don't want to present a positive image of African American beauty in equal to that of white women. So they'll go out of their way to find the most ugly, most unattractive, undesirable African American female and stand it right next to them in order to make a statement saying that this black woman will never be as beautiful as a white woman, this black woman will never be as attractive as a white woman, and that, this black woman is pretty much undesirable. And that's the statement that they make regarding the image of the Afro-American Negro female. But because the Afro-American Negro female lacks the self-esteem and the self-confidence to call this out, she pretty much will go along to get along, just like they did in the 1930s with your Louise Beavers and many others who went along with these stereotypes, reinforced the ideas because at that time they needed to work. But this time in 2016, they're just going along because they just have low self-esteem and they don't have the courage to go out and protest an image that pretty much says the worst about them. And that's what's really sad, regarding this whole Ghostbusters 2016, that many of these Afro-American Negroes can't look at this image and see the insult being perpetrated against them. That this major movie studio is pretty much saying that, black women aren't attractive, black women aren't desirable, and we can get the ugliest white women, and in proportion to her, then make the statement that the black woman is still the ugliest person in the room. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.